What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Ladies, Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I've got producer Alicia filling in here for producer Jacob. Nice to have her back. My NBA producer jumping over to the MLB streets. I think that can only be good luck for us, right? Right? I'm like Mr. Burns. I'm so excited. Anyway, 10 games in the Thursday MLB slate. US Open card now also in play. Going to be possibly, fingers crossed, going out there on Friday. Sunday for sure, I'll be going out. But either way, BetMGM, you can go check them out anytime that you want to. Get those 2 free months of Odd Chopper Discord access, as well as up to $1,000 back if your first bet that you make over there when you sign up below loses. Yes. $50, $100, up to $1,000. If you make that first wager and it wins, keep the money. If it loses, get that money back in bonus bets. Great stuff. Only if you're 21, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'll talk about them a little bit later here, but we got an early W with San Francisco. We've had 2 ridiculous come from behind wins. I think the tide is turning in the MLB streets because we're actually making money for the first time in a while. It's really fun. Textile. It's the only thing I could think of that rhymed with it. That doesn't even make any sense. Let's get to the picks, shall we? Yeah. To the picks we go. First game of the day, we head to Toronto and Baltimore. We've had this one in play constantly on the Baltimore money line side, but last year we picked on Yusei Kikuchi all the way to being demoted and then coming back and being a bullpen arm. Oh, it was so good. I miss those days. They were incredible days, that's for sure. But lefty Kikuchi, still decent enough K rate at 22.7%. The expected slugging is back up there, 513, 46.4% hard hit percentage. But every time you go into Camden Yards, I am doing more as far as if you're a right-handed pitcher or left-handed pitcher. Yes, I'm differentiating between the two constantly because power far less. That's the weirdest way I've ever put something. It affects lefties less. There you go. Could have just gone with that. Affects lefties less than it does righties. Why? Because they moved the wall back 30 feet and raised it 8 feet or whatever the hell they did in Baltimore to make it impossible for righty power. In fact, the second hardest park so far this season to be hitting balls out of, according to expected home runs. Look at that over at Baseball Savant. Great site. Definitely want to be checking that out on the daily. But Kikuchi's on one side. Tyler Wells, we've been backing him a lot this season. 286 xWOBA, but 211 expected batting average. Probably the only pitcher that I really turned the corner with, that I actually like, that I actually encourage betting on the Baltimore side, because I really don't like their starting rotation. But why has it been on the card here the last 2 days and now it's not on the card? Well, part of it is just pure value. And the Baltimore lineup is fantastic. You get righties in there like Jose Barrios, and the lefty power projects out really, really nicely. Toronto, you have a lot of righty power, whether it's George Springer, Matt Chapman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So if you're pulling the ball there, you're in deep dog doo-doo because it just doesn't go far. Love 370 yard. Can you tell I'm a golfer? 370 foot lineouts to left. Just saying. There's a lot of balls that are hit in Camden. There would be home runs at every other park besides this one. So righty power, not very fun. Lefty power, I am here for it. And it just exists far more on this Baltimore side. It just does. It's just a fact. Santander, both sides of the plate. Gunnar Henderson. Adam Frazier actually hitting balls out of the yard now. What is going on with life? He is just a slapper. Slippy slapper. Whatever, it's Baltimore money line on the lean section. Yeah, we're not putting it on the card this time around. We've been targeting this Blue Jays team a couple of times, but at minus 120, even against Kikuchi, not good enough, even with Tyler Wells, the only guy I wish I could be betting for on this Baltimore rotation. Well, this escalated quickly. We've got Tampa Bay, Oakland. Oakland, 7 straight wins coming into Wednesday night. Worst team in baseball winning 7 games in a row. Can you tell that there have been some crazy things this MLB season? I'm just saying. It's been a little unpredictable from time to time, but you stay the course, my friends. You stay the course. We're not even half the way through the season. I'm updating everything constantly here, and put in that work, Devin. Don't give up. Another one. God, I love that commercial. Let me know in the comment section below if you know what the hell I'm talking about. But we have Oakland and we have Tampa Bay. A little bit different pitching complexion here. Taj Bradley, who was a guy who got sent to AAA, even though he had a great, fantastical little start to the beginning of the season. I don't really know why, but they wanted to try to revamp his pitch mix, and I don't think it was the best idea. But also, Tampa Bay's really good at this, so who am I to question it? I'm just a dumb. Anyway, 3 2/3 last time out, 4 walks. That really is kind of what gouged him a little bit there. Only 75 pitches. Are they going to start quick hooking him? They're going to start quick hooking him in a couple of these spots. That's okay, though. Mainly because when you start looking at the Tampa Bay bullpen, better than most. Better than most. Just saying. And Paul Blackburn, he's in our lives. It's wild. Only 3 starts that we have a sample size. He's probably the main guy on the Oakland side. 3.6 ERA, 1.33 whip. But here's what it comes down to. It's reflected in the price. And this Tampa Bay team, now that they've just been sitting there in Oakland, and Oakland fills the stadium to protest yesterday, and Wednesday we'll watch what happens and goes down here. If Oakland wins 8 in a row, my dear God. Not targeting them on that. Could never. But I will target them here with Taj Bradley going up against Paul Blackburn, mainly because we're looking inside of minus 200, whereas everything's been outside of that for the beginning games of this series. Now, Blackburn, just a 21.9% K rate, but that is up from last season still. I look back to last year, far more indicative of what we're going to be looking at going forward. He's got a 4.14 expected ERA, so this 3.55 expected ERA he has so far in the early goings of this season, don't buy into it, don't believe it, don't like it, don't think it'll consist of anything indicative of what he's going to do going forward. And therefore, my friends, when you start seeing something like Tampa Bay with their offensive efficiencies around even money against the worst team in baseball, yes, they've won 7 in a row, don't give a shit. Worst team in baseball on the run line, yeah, just bet it. This one projects out at minus 130 for me. That, my friends, makes it an early lock for the people. Tampa Bay, best offense in baseball, 128 WRC plus against righties, 207 ISO. Give me all of that you got and a bag of potato chips. Let's have a little lunch this afternoon and watch a little Oakland baseball and watch Oakland baseball move to Vegas because that's what needs to happen. Tampa Bay, minus 1.5, absolute lock. Now, we had the weirdest situation that I can remember since doing this show, even going back to last year. We started up around the 4th of July. Really good things happened. Fireworks over that weekend. We ran that to the bank. And then, well, we just had a phenomenal second half of the MLB season, which I'm looking forward to this season. But this game yesterday, did you see the Arizona Diamondbacks lineup? If you're in the premium Discord, you certainly did because I talked about it and bemoaned the fact that Arizona was a lock. We locked Philly. They put up 15 runs the other night behind Zach Wheeler. Automatic, easiest W of our entire lives. But then locked Arizona coming into Wednesday's game. You have to be reactionary when new information becomes available. I didn't know that Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte were not going to be in that Arizona Diamond lineup, and Geraldo Perdomo is leading off for them on Wednesday. What are we doing with our lives? And the line only moved 5 cents, which I do not agree with. If you have 2 of the best 3 hitters on a team, because I'm going to put Christian Walker or Lourdes Gurriel, depends. Corbin Carroll, best player on the team, no doubt about it. You take them out of lineups, this line should have moved more than 5 cents on Wednesday. But either way, we have a new situation on Thursday to kind of get out of. And by the way, I don't ever hit the cash out button. I hit the cash out button and did not end up putting it in play on Wednesday and actually ended up on the over of Ranger Suarez, 3.5 Ks because, well, Arizona, what are you doing here? Just took Wednesday off. Heading into Thursday, I expect them to have the normal boppers back in that lineup. And still, don't think it'll matter all that much considering it's Aaron Nola on the mound going up against Ryan Nelson. And Ryan Nelson, R-Y-N-E, learn how to spell your name and then, pitch better. Those are 2 things I'm asking from you. A 14.2% K rate is abysmal. 42.2% hard hit percentage is not great. And a 346 XOO, but no, thank you, ma'am. Let's move along. Aaron Nola on the other side, been consistently one of the best pitchers in baseball year in, year out. A bit of a down year for him, a 3.78 expected ERA. If the season ended now, that would be his worst mark in the last 4 years. It's still really good. He's got a 4.60 ERA, so the results have certainly not been there, and he's been getting punished accordingly. And the main reason why, well, the K rate. It has continued to precipitously drop. I went into his pitch mix. I did all the dirty work for you. I don't want to do your dirty work. Oh, yeah. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Anyway, his fastball velocity is down 0.5 mile per hour, and it's been an interesting little situation so far this season. I think Aaron Nola is going to be improving going forward. Let's get to the summer months. Let's open up that arm. Let's get you going. What's going on with the Nolas this year? Austin Nola, Aaron Nola, both were good 1 point. Aaron Nola's still pretty good. Just throwing it out there. His brother, I don't really know what to make of it. But Philadelphia money line. This is an interesting one to me considering minus 120. If I knew I got the normal Philadelphia lineup, this probably jumps into a like button situation. But the last couple days, they've played their A team, and now Arizona rested everybody on Wednesday. The only reason this is going in the lean category is that. Be reactionary. Have no idea what's going on with Ketel Marte, if he's going to end up playing here on Thursday or not. He is a DTD on the lineup page on MLB.com, so there you go. Whereas Corbin Carroll is 100% going to be in this lineup on Thursday. I'm going to lose my mind. Philadelphia money line, friends. A lean could easily turn into a like in the afternoon. We got a little bit of evening baseball going down at Target Field, my old stomping ground. Sonny Gray and the Twins, they are hosting. And Twins. I missed those commercials. Going up against Matthew Boyd and the Detroit Tigers, who, well, they were putting up some runs on Spencer Strider. Didn't matter if you live bet that one. Well done. A couple of people in the premium Discord. Sharp dudes hanging out there. Take advantage of BetMGM. Then you can join it for 2 months free and you can make fun of me every day. And that seems like something a lot of you want to do. But either way, Detroit, Matthew Boyd on the mound here. Southpaw, who used to have quite the K rate, used to be a huge asset for this Detroit team that they definitely should have moved at the trade deadline last year. Still a little bit shocked that they didn't. And now, well, you're stuck with you. 22.1% K rate, 242 expected batting average. Sell high when you're the Detroit Tigers. Buy low when you're a playoff team. Seems a little bit too formulaic. Yeah, God forbid. God forbid they do smart stuff. But yeah, Matthew Boyd overall, a 9.5% walk rate. That started to inflate. Too many free passes, too many extra pitches there. K rate precipitously dropping as well. I've said precipitously now twice and now 3 times. I need to stop. But Minnesota on the other side. Somebody decided to say, oh, Eric, you're always on the money line for the Twins. You're always picking them to hit homers. Well, part of it is how undervalued the likes of Alex Kirilloff, who's a 60 out of 60 raw power grade over on Fangraphs. Joey Gallo, been one of the best power hitters, and the shift looked really good until he got injured, and Joey Gallo always seems to get injured, so it is what it is. But part of what I would be looking at and why the Minnesota side would make sense, and I would lean that direction, although that's not going to be the play, is Sonny Gray's capabilities. A 298 xWOBA, a 365 expected slugging, and north of 25% K rate. He also gets the second best matchup in baseball going up against Detroit, and their 83 WRC plus against everybody over the entire course of the season, and an 80 WRC plus, second worst mark in baseball against right-handed pitching alone. Just a 121 ISO, despite the fact that, again, they found a way to beat up Spencer Strider. Didn't matter. Still, Atlanta minus 1.5 covered pretty easily for the people. Wasn't on my card, was on a lot of people's in the premium Discord. So go team. Go team. Should listen to them more often, but it is what it is. How about listening to me on this one? Under of 8. This projects out right around 7.4 runs. Pretty darn good. Nothing crazy here. Half unit play for me there, but part of it is just you're looking at this Minnesota game. Wild that they're starting off this early. Let me double check the first pitch. Why is it at 4:10 on the Pacific? So 6:10 Central Time? That's not a normal Minnesota start time. Nobody cares. Okay, sounds great. Under 8, we're going to move along just a like. Speaking of Atlanta minus 1.5, I didn't have it yesterday. I'm going to have it today. That's for damn freaking sure. We got Kyle Freeland on the mound here. Freeland going up against Mr. A.J. Smith-Shawver, a guy who was supposed to pitch the other day, got rained out in Detroit. Strider ended up pitching today during the doubleheader. All of the things. We'll cover him in a second, but let's start with Kyle Freeland and his inadequacies. A 15.7% K rate, a 271 expected batting average, and a 334 xWOBA. Not great, Bob. Not great. The 6.1% walk rate, about the only redeeming value, but that sinker, not really sinker. The slider, not really sliding. Low velocity guy, not a whole lot that is going to be shying away from Ronald Acuna, who continues to destroy human beings' souls. Austin Riley, Sean Murphy should be in this lineup. Marcell Ozuna, Travis d'Arnaud. You could get 2 catchers there, just DH one. Yeah, Ozzy Albies now hitting well from both sides of the plate with a 472 expected slugging. Atlanta's not going to be a whole lot of fun once this temperature starts going up down there in Atlanta. The humidity, where the players play and they ride on them things like every day. These gangsters rolling and parties don't stop till 8 in the morning. I'm just pausing for dramatic effect. We're going to go to AJ Smith-Shawver. Also, I needed this to update. 8 2/3. Well, no, sorry. 7 2/3 innings pitched so far in the bigs this season. And breaking down some of his mix, he's just 20 years old, and he could be just fantastic. As if Atlanta needs another young pitcher who ends up coming to fruition. Just a 205 expected slugging and a 162 expected batting average in his short stint so far here in 2 outings at the big league level. Went to AAA, looked at the Gwinnett Stripers. Yeah, stripers, not strippers, like my buddy said the other day. Although I'd love to watch the Gwinnett Strippers. That'd be fun. We've got just 2 outings that he started there at AAA ball, and he looked fantastic, majestic, like a unicorn in both. 12 innings pitched, 1.08 whip, 4 earned. Yeah, he looked solid. So this AJ Smith-Shawver fellow, I think we want to be going after him in his blue glove. Yeah, I was watching him pitch a little on YouTube for the people. It's blue. It's beautiful. Blue's my favorite color. Feels so symphonic. I know it's gray, but whatever. I wanted to change it up. Maybe I should have saved that for the Sony Gray conversation, or there's a lot of grays in baseball. John Gray. It's also my spreadsheet on the expected ROI column. It's not a compliment to myself, but we're going to lock this one up, my friends. -1.5 Atlanta. Put it in the bank. Yeah. 2 locks in the first 5 games. Don't see that happening very often this MLB season, so take advantage. And both on the run line, that should go well. That should really go well. And this is going to go well no matter what for you, because again, 2 free months of OS Premium Discord, as well as this other offer that we have going with BetMGM. All you do is you go to the link below. It should automatically put in OS Insider as your promo code when you click on the link, but if it doesn't, put in promo code OS Insider. How about that? Then you're going to get those 2 free months of OS Premium Discord. Myself, Ben Raza, Eitan Shander, Isaiah Suarez, who's just smashing college baseball like it's his job, because it kind of is his job. That's why we hired him. We're talking 2 free months of OS Premium Discord. You can come hang out with us, come troll us, come love us, do whatever you want. I don't care. It just means the 2 free months come your way, and you can see exactly what I'm doing day in, day out. And, well, we're putting in the work there, my friends. We're putting in the work. But that's not all. You're also going to get up to $1,000. Yes, $1,000 back in bonus bets. I was going to say promo funds. I haven't heard that verbiage in a while. But yes, you're going to get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets when you make your first wager. So your first wager, it could be $50, $75, $100. It could be $229.48. It's a very specific number. But you're going to get that money back if that bet loses in bonus bets. So what are you waiting for? If you have DraftKings, if you have FanDuel, get yourself exposure to all the sports books you can, especially when they have great offers like this going here over at BetMGM. You have to be 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER, and never, ever, ever let your friends make the face that I am making on this screen right now, because then they'll plaster it everywhere, and then your life will be over. Alrighty, y'all, halfway through the games, let's get back to the picks. I've been waiting for this opportunity pretty much all season long, and no, not just because my wife's obsessed with Shohei Ohtani and I want all the brownie points in all the land, but because I truly believe that this is kind of the spot to be utilizing it. We've got the Los Angeles Angels and the Texas Rangers, and we know that Shohei Ohtani, whenever he's on the mound and then hitting, it's just like watching Babe Ruth, but like actually good. Because again, Babe Ruth was like a carpenter and 320 pounds, and there's no way that he wouldn't be out of the bigs immediately if you were playing in the modern game. Maybe he would actually run and work out, not smoke, and like do like the New York thing. You know what I mean? Guy was having fun. But either way, Shohei Ohtani, he's smiling. He's having fun. He's accidentally slapping Luis Renifo in the face in the dugout. He's doing everything correctly. And then he's on the mound here going up against a very difficult Texas Rangers team. And Nathan Eovaldi on the other side. I mean, I'm definitely leaning towards the under here on this one. Automatically in the back of your mind, you should be saying 2 great strikeout pitchers. But still, it's even money under 8 because these offenses are just elite against right-handed pitching over the course of this season. Both of them well over 100. We're talking Texas, 117 WRC plus against righty pitching, second best in baseball behind Tampa Bay, and the Angels now up to 6th, which is kind of wild because they're more notoriously known as lefty killers, sitting there with their 111 WRC plus against that handedness on the season. But 2 really good offenses. It's almost like Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani should, when healthy, just destroy people. Which leads me to this. Have you thought about a Shohei Ohtani single game parlay in your life that incorporates his hitting and batting? Because I don't think I've ever done it before. But against Nathan Eovaldi, I'm expecting that we're going to get higher than normal home run odds. And Eovaldi, despite a 272x WOBA, which factors in a little bit more of walk probabilities, where he's been great, 5.1% walk rate, that's factored into expected weighted on base average. And then the 349 expected slugging, another good mark. He still has a 41.8% hard hit percentage. And Shohei Ohtani, as much as you might want to look at the 4.8 degree average launch angle and say, how are you going to hit a home run even with hard contact if the ball's on the ground? You do it by targeting Shohei Ohtani, who just smashes it to a 92.8 mile per hour average exit velocity, which is one of the highest marks in all of baseball. Nearly a 50% hard hit percentage, 576 expected slugging. If I'm getting better than plus 300, he is on the card automatically. But I think I want to couple that against this Texas Rangers offense, who, yes, they are lethal with that 117 WRC plus and 185 ISO against righties, but they are also strikeoutable. Yeah, I just made up that word. Strikeoutable. 23.1% K rate. That is decent enough. A little bit above average in the MLB. Why not taking a shot on one of the coolest little parlays that I could possibly imagine putting together? Los Angeles Angels money line will probably have to be a part of that, unless you can specifically FanDuel, DraftKings. Can we please just do Ohtani props and move on with our lives? I want Shohei Ohtani to home run, as long as it's better than plus 300, and I want up to 8 Ks. Yes, I am even looking at K laddering the great one here. Shohei Ohtani, some of the best stuff. Oh, that splitter. Oh, that splitter. Makes me think of Splinter from Ninja Turtles. Cowabunga, dude. Shohei Ohtani, all of the props. That is what I'm paying attention to in this one. I'm a little bit disappointed. She can't tell that I noticed, but producer Alicia has no idea what I just quoted there with the Ninja Turtles. It's really disappointing. Seriously? Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. Cowabunga, dude. Eating pizza in a sewer? What could be better? Well, why am I talking about this? Because I really have nothing to talk about here. We have no clue. Weather really matters there. And Marcus Stroman, the only pitcher who's announced so far. Guess I'll break him down because, again, there's no clue who's going to start for the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is a pure hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist, EricLindquist. Look at that. I can spell my own name. Hit me up there. I'll let you know if I end up having a play from this game. But as it stands right now, Marcus Stroman, only announced starter. We like his stuff. 358 expected slugging, 304 xWOBA, and the K rate is elevated against lefties, which is useful because, again, you need to avoid the bat. His numbers, just like most righties, worse against lefties. He's no reverse splits guy. So Marcus Stroman, nice to see that K rate elevate above 21.7% against that handedness. And there are some lefties, Jack Sawinski specifically, coming off of Double Dong Central on Tuesday. I guess that's about it. Oh, yeah, we're going to be leaning Chicago Cubs money line. I have no idea where this line ends up showing up. It's going to be a value situation. I got to expect the Cubs are pretty heavy favorites here, but I'd rather talk about Ninja Turtles than talk about this game because there's really nothing else to talk about. Let's move on with our lives. Cubs on the money line next. What's she know about parlay? Yeah, we got more parlays than normal on this card. I'm looking at Shohei Ohtani, a single game parlay with himself. Normal stuff. And then we've got this one, Washington and Houston, and I'm just going to call it a lean, but I got to say, I think I'm just going to be waiting for the best available line, and then I'm going to be putting this one into play, mainly because Mackenzie Gore, when you get Washington, yeah, there's a lot of components about Washington that aren't good, but Mackenzie Gore is not one of them. A 28.2% K rate even though he's got a 42.9% hard hit percentage, he's a lefty, and the Crawford boxes you have to contend with there, short porch out there in left field in Houston. I still think he's got good enough stuff. And with no Yordan Alvarez, even though it would be a left on left in this spot, no Yordan Alvarez in this lineup, it's pretty tough to say that I want to be backing Houston at these kind of numbers going forward. However, Christian Javier on the other side is a little bit nerve-wracking. He does have a 24.8% K rate, 6.4% walk rate, and the 463 expected slugging with all fastball usage. And you look at some of these hitters, these Washington Nationals hitters, they don't really strike out against fastballs, but they definitely are still pretty, they're like the lionesses here of the MLB, that's for sure. Just calm, sweet, not really going to go out there and do damage. 19.2% K rate, 83 WRC plus. I don't know. What's Simba's girlfriend's name? I'm trying to remember. It's the first lioness. Nala. See, I'm so good at reading lips. It's great. We'd be great back in college. Wing situation. Go me. Oh, I should talk about this game, shouldn't I? Yeah, Christian Javier, definitely somebody that not really going to be going out of my way to pick on too often, but plus 1.5 has projected out really well for me throughout this series, and I'm a little bit terrified. Haven't put it on the card yet, but it's going to be on the card, I think, today in conjunction with the under of 8.5, mainly because I think it correlates out kind of nicely. I think Mackenzie Gore can find success finding strikeouts against this version of the Houston Astros lineup without Yordan Alvarez, who not only has power, but also has the ability to avoid strikeouts. He is just an absolute unicorn of baseball. So plus 1.5 on the Washington run line in conjunction with the under of 8.5, that is, from this entire game. Think Javier still finds success, but give me that close 4-3 finish and we can all go home happy. How's that sound? Get even money on the run line. Tough to get away from here in this spot. Just a lean, but think it's going to be on the card when I find the best available place to put this wager down. 2 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, my friends, as we go to Petco. I probably need to go to Petco and buy more pet food myself. My dog, he's a little pissed off lately. Sorry, I need to study baseball more. I suck. San Diego, though, we're going to be paying close attention to a couple of factors here, mainly because their lineup has to start hitting the acceleration pedal now. You have Arizona, that's a lot better in that NL West than expected. You've got the Dodgers, who are just as good as we always expect them to be. And now you've got 2 pretty good pitchers. Logan Allen, a young pitcher who's on the mound for them, and Yu Darvish. You got to convert on these games if you're the San Diego Padres. You just absolutely have to. And that's where I'm just looking at Yu Darvish as the prize gem to be getting to on the run line in this spot. Going through his numbers, if you take out Mexico City for a lot of guys, whether it's Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish from the San Diego side, and the Giants side actually found some success with a couple of guys there, even though they had a 20-whatever run game with that Joe Musgrove start. But Yu Darvish, take that out of the equation, and the ERA looks even better than the 4.30 that it's posted at. He's got a 3.55 expected ERA, so that's what I care about more. 26.3% K rate, and Cleveland's lineup is not good. It's like Lee Trevino and Happy Gilmore every time. It's terrible. It's no good. It's very bad. But San Diego, they do have the lefties that can go out and still find a little bit... I'm not going to call it success, but I mean, Juan Soto's going to find success, I think, just based on some of his hard hit profiles. But we have Shohei Ohtani on the mound here. We're getting Logan Allen on the mound on the other side. And this southpaw, decent enough numbers so far this season with a 3.31 ERA, but a 1.39 WHIP. Oh, no. He has been very overvalued throughout this entire season, in my humble opinion. And this is coming from a guy who just tried to back Tanner Beebe in terms of Ks the other day. So what do I know? It wasn't a very good experiment. Hey, it projects out well for me. I'm going to still fire it. I'm okay with it. I'll live with the results. But a 265 expected batting average for Logan Allen here, 434 expected slugging. That 3.31 ERA, it's attached to a 4.35 expected ERA. And I don't care about what you did before. I care about what I'm going to predict you to do in the future. And this plus 120 is called value here on the run line. San Diego, Petco, not the most homer-friendly park, not the most run-friendly park that there ever was, but I'm more than happy to be taking shots on a pitcher that I think I just want to be targeting some of these inflated numbers, especially if you get Yu Darvish on the mound. Now, I will throw out this caveat at the very end here. There is an outside chance they move his start to Friday, and this ends up being Ryan Weathers. So hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist if this switches up, because I don't know what these numbers are going to be. I have my predictions for what it would be. I could mix and match, take a look at these kind of things. But San Diego, we know they have the bullpen pieces, even though that bullpen really struggled in the first quarter of this season, starting to come on strong. Think San Diego can get it done for us there on the run line if it is Darvish in the starting spot. And the last game of the night, we have been on the Dodgers a lot here of late. Not really going to be on them here in any kind of crazy capacity, but this play was on my card for Wednesday night. We'll see if it ends up happening. That game has not started yet. It's going to be on my card probably on Thursday, assuming we get something of the likening in a similar situation. But in terms of starters, Dylan Cease, their stud, he's had a tough year. Dylan Cease has had a tough year. Going up against Michael Grove, who is, I'm not even going to use quotes, he's not a stud here for the Dodgers, even though you do expect him to start turning it around here. Although the Dodgers also got Noah Syndergaard, and I don't know why. So they sent him back down to the shadow realm. Good decision. But Michael Grove, 461 expected slugging, 335 xWOBA. Problem is that the White Sox really have no lefty power that can go out and make him pay $50 every day. My mama told me Yoan Moncada used to be a big prospect, but he is not him. You dirty little dish rag, out goes you. Yasmani Grandal, no thanks. Revenge spot. Does he have revenge in his heart? I doubt it. Got paid because of the Dodgers, even though he got the yips during the playoffs. A lot of baseball stuff going through my head constantly on these shows. I should probably just kind of stick to, I don't have a script. Let's not kid ourselves. That would be pathetic if this was the script. Dylan Cease, though, we're going to target him with power, specifically lefty power. And I don't know if Max Muncy ends up having something show up on his MRI. They moved it from Tuesday to Wednesday. I don't know if he could possibly even show up in the lineup on Thursday. Well, why would you force him when you're the Dodgers and you're sitting at a good spot, sitting at what, 38-29? They did have a kind of skittish road trip there, but they're back home. They're facing a team here in the Dodgers that even putting Michael Grove out there, they should be able to put up runs on one Dylan Cease. And there's really only one lefty to star, highlight, center. Angel is the centerfold. Freddie Freeman, my friend, 619 expected slugging. Not to besmirch the good name of David Peralta, who has started to come frickin' alive. Jason Hayward, lefty, probably going to be batting cleanup again, anticipating Max Muncy going to be out in that kind of a situation. So pay close attention to it. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but I know that I'm going to be invested in Freddie Freeman in that 619 expected slugging, 433 xWOBA in both the bases, RBI, run department. Been some really advantageous props, especially at BetMGM of late. I almost blocked it with my hand. That would have been stupid. But at BetMGM, there it was. That was much better. Freddie Freeman to home run. It's going to be a lean for you. Yeah, oh, look at me. Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani to homer. It's all about that value. Give me better than plus 340, and it will be on the card. No doubt about it. I will see you back here on Friday. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on the board for Thursday's slate. 10 games, gonna be a fun one. Why not jump in that premium Discord and see exactly the way the lineups come out, exactly which starters are in play. You can get that premium Discord access and my betting card every single day, Sunday through Friday. I had to think about that for a second. Only Saturdays that I'm taking off, because otherwise I would probably have an unhappy wife. An unhappy wife equals unhappy life, and I would not like that. That would suck. So use this promo code OS Insider. Get yourself 2 months of Discord access now, as well as up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet you make after signing up loses. Good, great, grand. No yelling on the bus. Let's get ourselves out of here. See you on Friday. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Thursday.